for accommodating the chime change. I apologize for kind of throwing that on you last minute. I put this in the text, but I had planned like a month in advance for Leadership Academy to be at this time this week. And then I just realized the other night that I hadn't posted it and shared it with everybody. And then to make things worse, I texted a couple of you guys about this last night. And then I just realized it got too late and I hadn't texted everyone. So then like this afternoon, if for those of you who got the text like late morning, early afternoon about the time change, I apologize. I know it was a little bit last minute. So for those who are not here tonight, I'm going to give them a free pass and say it's my fault. Just FYI, when you're a manager, don't change the schedule on people last minute. Right? You want to give them plenty of advance notice. So I apologize for the late notice for all of you guys, but I do want to say thank you for working with me and adjusting your schedules to be here this evening. Just FYI, tonight, I am going to keep this one relatively light because I know a lot of you guys have just finished up your finals and you're either just getting home from school or are preparing to come home from school. I know we have Leadership Academy on Wednesday. On Friday, we're going to do a names list workshop to help you guys get ready for the push. And then right after Christmas, we're all going to be spending lots of time together. On the other side of that coin, by the way, this is the last Leadership Academy before Christmas. And it's actually going to be our last weekly Leadership Academy until the end of January, right? So very excited, very excited. Let me actually make a quick note to myself to talk about what the future holds, and then we'll dig right in. So first things first, I want to just give some recognition. A lot of you guys have been finishing up with finals, getting ready for the holidays, and really making some moves to sell some knives. We had Kevin sold an essential set the other day. Landon, literally, it was either the same day he finished his final or the same day he was coming home, sold $429 on a virtual demo. Charlie today sold 2 orders for $654. And John Tevis, for those of you guys who have been talking about the events team or wanting to get involved with the events team, came home from Japan, literally the same day that he got back on the airplane. Keep in mind, it's a 13-hour time change. Came back, same day, went and worked an event. And in 2 days, he's gotten 28 orders. And his 28 orders, he sold $6,194 worth of Cutco. And if he was at 30%, he would have made $2,000. And he's at 50%, so he made $3,000. And then, of course, if you're at 40 or 45, I'm not doing the math. It's a little more complicated, right? But that is the opportunity for the events team. And I'll just tell you, I've talked to some of you guys about this, but a lot of you have expressed interest in it. When we get to the springtime, you know, especially for the college students, you guys could be training for this and be able to pick out 1, maybe 2 weekends out of the school year and work an event, have one or 2 weekends working and sell a couple grand, and what that could do for your income and your spending money and your savings, and how much different the semester would feel, right, than it did this last one. And then for those of you who are non-students, the events team obviously is a big income opportunity. And then for everybody who runs an office, for our branch managers, we expect the branch managers to sell for the second half of the summer. And a lot of times doing the events, you know, when I was a baby rep, there was no events team. So I had to sell 10 grand just doing demos, right? But like this, like John Tevis is going to be at almost 10 grand after a weekend. Yeah, weekend. Which is pretty damn exciting. It really revolutionizes the earning opportunity. And then for our district managers, a lot of times they will do events in the fall and the spring so that when the office isn't as busy, they're cranking and banking with their own personal sales plus what their team is selling, and it becomes a huge profit opportunity. So very exciting. Figured I'd give John a little shout out and promote the events team while I was at it. Just FYI though, today is December 17th. Christmas Eve is the last official day of 2018 for the Vector calendar. Christmas Day, we're not expecting anybody to do anything unless they don't celebrate Christmas, but the majority of our team, you know, that's a day off. But the 26th officially for the Vector calendar is day 1 of 2019. Okay, so we have from now until Christmas Eve. We're only $4,100 away from hitting our target for the year, and we've got 8 days left to do it, right? So I'm just going to ask, I know for some of you guys, we've had our one-on-one meetings, and we have it in the plan to not really start selling until the push begins. And if that's the plan, that's awesome. Specifically, though, there are a couple of you guys that just came home from school and you're ready to start cranking. There's 2 people that go back to school very early, like January 6th. And we talked about those people kind of need to not wait until January 2nd to sell some Cutcos. So for you guys, the $4,100, whatever you do to hit your own targets is also going to help put us over the finish line as a team. So thank you in advance for any help that you guys provide for that. One thing that you may want to make a note of is that tomorrow, December 18th, depending on whoever watches the recording when they see it. So December 18th is the last day for free delivery by Christmas. So if they order on the 2019th, some of you guys haven't been on Rolo for a while, and that's okay. But if you go on Vector Connect, when you enter the order, there's a little box right now in the same spot where you pick how many payments they want to make and all that. It'll say before Christmas, yes or no. And if you hit before Christmas, yes, today or tomorrow, it's free. It's automatically guaranteed by Christmas. Starting on the 19th, which is what, Wednesday? If you say yes to before Christmas, it'll automatically upgrade them to 2-day or next day shipping. Or if you hit before Christmas, no, you can hope for the best, right? But it won't be guaranteed by Christmas. Does that make sense? Just FYI. And again, just to be clear, I realize that there are some of you guys that are like super hungry to jump in and start doing demos immediately. And I also realize there are some of you guys that are not planning on it. So for those of you not selling right now, right, that's okay. As long as that's in the plan, cool, right? But for those of you that are selling, that could be a really good opportunity for you to promote. Evelyn Comer was telling me today that she's just been telling customers all weekend long that this is the final weekend to be able to get guaranteed delivery by Christmas. And it helped her close a couple $1,000s in orders. Because people were like, oh, let me think about it. We'll get back to you. And she's like, this is the last time, right? By the way, tomorrow's not even like the last weekend. It's the last day, right? Like after tomorrow, we can't guarantee you're going to have the order by Christmas unless you pay for next day shipping. So that could help you create some urgency and close the deal for anybody who's been sitting on the fence and thinking about it, you know? So anyway, I wanted to put that out there. I do want to really quickly, and Kevin, if you can help me with this, I'd appreciate it. Who do I need though? Really just Will. By the way, Will is on. I can't see his face, but I saw that he's on here. So really just Will and Nick. I need to schedule time with you guys. What I've been working to do is map out an hour with each person to really dig into your schedule, your goals, your plans. I've already met with Landon and Kayla and Becky and Grant. I've got Kevin, Madison, Charlie, and Carissa scheduled for tomorrow. I do have an opening tomorrow at 11 o'clock and 1:15. I have one on Thursday at 1:30, 2:30, and 3:30. My preference is to have this done before Friday, because Friday we're really starting to prep for the push. So I'd rather have this done by Friday, but if you can't do tomorrow or Thursday, I opened up a slot on Friday. So Kevin, if you can just work with them and help facilitate getting them signed up.
Sure. Okay, I'll start with Nick. So Nick, can you see the board? I'm not sure if you can see the board. The whiteboard. I can't hear anything that you're saying.
He was courteous enough to mute.
Yes. I mute him, but it's not working. There we go. Oh. Okay, Nick. He's saying words. I'm not even sure. Nick, say something. I can't hear you. Okay. Cool. Thursday at 1:30.
Chia seeds, is it veggie powder? Some sort of powder. It's not powder.
Thank you, Nick.
Nope. 2 cups of
Okay,
frozen
Will.
greens.
Can you see the board?
Like actual greens that we frozen.
Yeah, I'll take tomorrow at 1:15.
1:15. Okay.
2 scoops protein powder.
Got it. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Nick and Will.
That much flaxseed and chia seed, and then 3 scoops of Greek yogurt and milk.
Nice. That's awesome.
Was it just Will and Nick?
Yep. I didn't want to talk to anybody else but them.
Got
They're the only ones I love.
it.
That's great.
Cool. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. All right, really quick. I do want to prep you for Wednesday's Leadership Academy. I'm pretty sure that all of you guys follow the Leadership Academy group me. So you should have seen all the notifications and everything. But just to confirm, and if you want to take some notes here, on Wednesday, the arrival time is at 10:30 in the Towson office. The address is on the group me. For those of you in Anne Arundel County, you're welcome to set up a carpool up there. For those of you in Virginia, I would encourage you guys to set up a carpool up there. And then the meeting goes from 10:30 till 5. And then after 5 o'clock, we're doing our holiday party. And they may not want to come just because of the location being in Baltimore. But if you have a significant other or cousin or family member or whoever that you would like to invite to the holiday party, they are invited. Just FYI, right? They may or may not want to make the trip because of where it is, but they are certainly invited at 5 o'clock. And my lovely wife will be joining us, and I'm excited to have her be part of the Vector family again, because it's been a little while since we've had her with you guys, for sure. Just a reminder, on Wednesday, the dress is professional, but bring a change of casual clothes, and or I would recommend ugly Christmas sweater for the holiday party portion. One thing Kate is going to ask you for is for your January goals, your personal goals, your professional goals, and your financial goals. Now, for those of us that are meeting on, if we've already met or we're meeting on Tuesday, we're going to map that stuff out together. Like Becky and I went through that in great detail, helped her figure out some goals and then put some numbers to them. So we'll do that together. For Nick, you just want to think about that before Wednesday, and then we'll dig in together on Thursday when we meet up. You definitely want to bring savings additions. Just a reminder, and you want to write this down. The minimum by Wednesday is $750. Now, there are some of you guys that are ahead of pace, which is wonderful. I would encourage you to continue adding and saving. I've never met someone who said, man, I wish I had less money in savings. All right, so just don't, if you're already at that level, that's wonderful. Just don't get so fat and happy that you stop saving money, right? And then there are a couple of you guys that are playing catch up right now, and that's okay. Bring a white elephant gift. Just a reminder, it's got to be $20 or less. We already talked about this last week, but just a reminder, it can be a gag gift, it can be technology, it can be a book, a gift card, doesn't matter, right? But make it fun and wrap it up, and we'll do competitive Secret Santa. And make sure you have your planner and your notebook. And just FYI, if you don't have your 2019 planner yet, I will send an email out tonight with a link to buy the greatest planner in the world that we all use. So that's everything for Wednesday. And then just a couple quick scheduling notes that I would like you to make sure are in your schedule. So I was talking to Kayla, and we were already planning on doing a names list workshop. I was promoting last week, if you recall, that we would do a names list workshop to help you guys get at least 100 names and numbers on your list. And I was talking to Kayla, and by the way, Kayla's giving a talk about this on Wednesday, but her goal is to win the trip to Jamaica in the first 2 days. Right? She wants to win it in the first 2 days. And I know this doesn't apply to all of you guys, but I know we have a couple of candidates that literally only have 2 days and then they go back to school. So I was like, that's great. We should have everybody win it in the first 2 days and then just take all of the pressure off of the month of January and have a lot more fun when you're not like fighting to win the push, when you already have it locked up. So what we're going to do, Kayla and I together, is on Friday this week. I forget the date, but this Friday from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock, we're going to do a names list workshop, just like we've been doing for Leadership Academy all semester. If you're physically in the area, I'd like to have you in the office with us. If you're far away, that's one that you can Zoom into. But we're going to be working on your names list together from 9 to 1. So for that one, you want to make sure you're on time and have with you all of the resources that you can use. You definitely want to have a computer or a tablet to look up people's names and numbers, but also see what directories or rosters or lists that you'd be able to get and bring them to the thing on Friday, because the more of that stuff you have, the easier it will be. And the goal is very, very simply to set you guys up for success over the push. The next thing is over this coming weekend, December 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, I would like to have a couple of you guys run interviews in the office. I know several people have expressed interest in doing that, and the honest truth is we've just had a hard time coordinating it and scheduling it. But the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, the honest truth is those are the best days to practice the interview. Because if you think about it, someone who's coming in to interview on Saturday or Sunday before Christmas or Christmas Eve, if they show up, they probably want a job and they'd be willing to work. So they're the easiest people to practice on, you know? So I would like to I can run those interviews myself, but I'd rather give them to some people who haven't run interviews before to give you a really easy practice round for your first interviews ever. And then, of course, for those of you who want to be managers, we'll give you a lot more interviews through the month of January. And then on the 26th, I know we talked about prepping for the big dance. So the arrival on the 26th will be at 9:30 in the morning to prep. And we'll cover more details on that stuff as we get closer to it. But I wanted to make sure those three things were in your calendar. This Friday, names list workshop 9 to 1. Interviews 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And the 26th, we're meeting up at 9:30 to prep for the big dance. I just wanted to make sure those are in your calendar well in advance. Yes.
You said the names list workshop is 9 to 11? Or
9 to 1.
9 to 1 p.m. Got it. This is here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. That said, that was all the new stuff that I wanted to cover with this evening. Nick, I just saw what you chatted to Kevin. That's hilarious. Anyway, that was all the new stuff I wanted to cover for this evening. What I would like to do for the remainder of the time is give you guys a moment to look over your notes from the season, right? From the fall since we started. Give you a chance to ask any questions or any clarifications, especially as quite honestly, all the stuff that's been theory up to this point, starting next week, it's not theory anymore. You'll be practicing it in real life with real people. So I'm going to give you a chance to do Q&A, and then we'll wrap up with some thoughts about the future. But let me give you guys a moment to look through your notes, and when you have something that you'd like to discuss or ask about, let me know. The one word of caution I would give is that if you're telling me you don't have questions, you have to realize, right? There's no possible way that you've mastered every single topic that we've covered so far in this Leadership Academy. So either you don't have questions because you didn't take good enough notes and, right, you don't have anything to look over and review, or you took notes and you're like, yeah, I get it. This makes perfect sense. But you have to realize that what you have written down is not the same thing as executing in real life. I would encourage you to always be a student, right? I'd rather have you tell me I don't understand everything. There's things I'm still working on. And Kevin and I do this all the time where he asks me questions. And sometimes I tell him, like, you're capable of getting the answer, right? Figure it out. Tell me what you come up with. But you're capable of finding the answer on your own. And there are other times that I give him the answer because I don't know that he would find the answer on his own. But I'd much rather have him asking questions all the time than saying, yeah, I've mastered everything, right? Even for me, I'm a big believer that once you say I've mastered everything, it completely eliminates your ability to get better, right? Because once the brain, by the way, one thing that my first business coach I ever hired taught me that sticks with me to this day, this was back in 2004, I think. He said the most dangerous words a human has ever said is, I already know that. Because as soon as you say, I already know, it eliminates your ability to learn something new or to get better. So maybe it's my fault for putting you guys on the spot and asking you to do Q&A with me. But I must confess, it makes me nervous when people are saying, yeah, I don't have any questions on anything we've covered over the last 4 months. And I think you guys get that, right?
Yeah, no,
Right. So let's talk about the future going forward from here. Today is our final Leadership Academy before Christmas. We'll have our divisional prep on Wednesday, the 19th from 10:30 to 5, followed by the holiday party. We'll do our names list workshop on Friday, which I think is the 21st without looking at a calendar. We have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You'll either be running interviews or not, but Christmas Day, taking the day off. The 26th, the intention is to have everybody, whether you live in Virginia, Westminster, Baltimore, everybody here physically in the office to shadow training live, which would be really exciting and fun. We have, as of today, we have 62 people scheduled for training. It's going to be a bit tough in the next 5 days, but the goal is to get that to 100, just FYI. So we'll have everybody here for training, which will be really fun. You'll have essentially almost a full week where you guys are operating as the branch manager, the district manager, the assistant manager, not of my office, but of your office, right? You'll be essentially the manager of your office for about 4 to 5 days. And then after that, we switch gears into getting ready for the push. We'll have a couple big phone jams. We'll have 12 days where you're going all out for the push to win the trip to Jamaica. And then after that, some of you guys will be right back to school. Some of you guys are done with school. And some of you guys will have about a week to a week and a half left of winter break. And over that week to week and a half, it's kind of a free period where you might want to continue selling Cutco to make the money and hit a target of yours. You might want to get more involvement in the office. And some of you guys, instead of being an assistant manager for a day, will be an assistant manager for an extended period of time to get the experience and the practice in the office. And then some of you guys will want to travel or see family or whatever, right? But that week after the 16th is kind of a free week, right? We'll figure it out as we go. And then the final week in January, which if you want to copy down the date, the final Monday in January, which is January 20, I lied, the second to last Monday in January, the 21st. So the 21st of January, that will be our final Leadership Academy, like this, where we have everybody together. So the 21st is the last time we do Leadership Academy with everybody together.
Is that like in person? Like everyone's coming in person?
It'll be just like this.
Oh, okay. Got it. I wasn't sure if it was like.
Okay, that weekend, and you want to make sure this is in your calendar, that weekend, January 25th and 26th, that is our professional development conference and year-end banquet.
The 25th and
25th and 26th. It's a Friday, Saturday.
Mhm.
And that is the biggest conference of the year for managers. That conference is for managers what SC2 is for sales reps.
Mhm.
And just FYI, not all of our managers get promoted there, but our top manager candidates will officially get promoted to branch and district manager at PDC. One thing I did 2 years ago that I'm going to do again this year is I hired a photographer to come in, and everybody who was on track to being an assistant manager, a branch manager, or a district manager, we did a professional photo shoot there. And then everybody who got promoted, part of your office opening gift was a framed photo of our team picture with all the new managers. So I did that 2 years ago. It was awesome. I didn't do it last year because I failed. So this year I'm definitely not failing. I'm definitely doing that, just FYI. So the 25th, 26th, you want to be there. And you should have all gotten an email and or a text from Earl Kelly today, but your parents are invited to that one, right? So if your parents are, I'll just tell you, if your parents are not supportive of the job and they always wonder why you're selling knives and why you're working so hard to sell knives and why you're not getting a real job or why you're not getting something in your major, and you're just like, Mom, Dad, you don't get it, bring them to PDC and they will very suddenly get it overnight. Like literally overnight, they get it. Okay? That's real. If they've been really supportive, right, and you want to have something to celebrate with them, bring them. If you know that you're on track to getting promoted, whether it's happening at the banquet or not, bring them, right, and we'll celebrate you at the conference, which is awesome. So you want to come for sure, and I would encourage you to bring significant others or family, especially if they are not supportive and don't get it, or if you know that you're on track for a promotion. Cool. And then after year-end banquet, we split. Okay, we're going to separate the people that are on track to getting a branch or a district promotion, and we're going to train you a different skill set from the people that are going to be assistant managers playing a supporting role, and they're going to get a different training from the people that are on track to getting a sales position for the summertime. So next summer, or rather in the spring, I'll essentially be running 3 different Leadership Academy levels. It'll be level 100, level 200, and level 300, depending on which promotion path you're on track for the summer. Okay, and then of course the goal for 2019, starting the day after Christmas, is a $2.1 million year. And just FYI, to make that happen, we do need 4 people to get promoted to be branch managers. We need 1 to get promoted to be a district manager, and we need 1 to be a CSP, and then of course a supporting staff as well. So that was everything I've got for tonight. If questions come up that you didn't think to ask this evening, please email them to me or text them to me, or just bring them up when we have our one-on-one. And then aside from that, enjoy your evening tonight. I will talk to 5 of you guys tomorrow, and then I'll see all of you guys on Wednesday. See you.